Hello, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Premier League Fantasy Football and welcome to my video. In today's video, I want to talk to you guys about some of the best midfield options for this season's FPL. However, I want to do something a little bit different on my videos, not for every single video, but I want to do something like a breaking news. Hello! So I thought I'll do something a little bit fun and talk to you guys about a couple of news that will impact FPL. So I'm not going to go out and find out every single possible news out there. So I just picked a couple that I wanted to talk to you guys about in this video. So it's going to be like a minute long or something, and then we'll go on to the video. Okay? Hope you guys will like it. Anyways, if you're new to the channel, please do subscribe and drop a like on the video as it helps my channel out a lot. So here we go. Now the first person that I wanted to talk to you guys about is Fofana, that has suffered a broken leg in a friendly match against Villarreal. It's not what we want to hear. It's something that we never want a player to suffer, and we all wish him a speedy recovery. And in other news, we have got Danny Ings moving from Southampton to Aston Villa. You guys let me know what you think about this transfer. Now, instead of having only Watkins being the main striker in Aston Villa, you got Danny Ings as well. I think this is a big impact, but I don't know about what's going to happen early stages. I think Watkins is going to continue being the main striker for Aston Villa, and Danny Ings is going to kind of help out with the team, but he is a quality player. You know, we all know what he can do. And in that Aston Villa team right now, you know, they are buying a lot of good players and they are more attacking. So I think there's going to be a lot of goals, but I think there's a lot of risk in their team right now. So you guys let me know what you think about Aston Villa now that they got Watkins and Danny Ings. I cannot believe that he has moved from Southampton to Aston Villa. But I guess Southampton right now will need a striker, and I've been hearing that Tammy Abraham is kind of like linked to them. So we'll see how things go. But I don't think Ings going to Aston Villa is going to help Watkins unless they play two up front. But we'll see what happens, right? You guys let me know what you think. The other news is Lukaku wants to move to Chelsea. Oh boy, I need to wear my glasses here. So, him moving to Chelsea. Let's just say he moves to Chelsea, right? How is that going to impact our FPL teams? Well, it's going to be a massive impact because a lot of like, oh, I gotta just stand like this. A lot of FPL managers out there are thinking to bring in more Chelsea assets later on. Once he arrives, then he is pretty much going to be the #1 pick from that Chelsea side. He's definitely probably going to be on penalties, and he is going to be the main goal scorer. And there's a lot of good players around him. So I think, yeah, if he does move, I'm definitely going to be interested in him to bring into my FPL team. You guys let me know what you think about this one. And in other news is Jack Grealish is getting closer and closer to moving to Manchester City. An 8 million midfielder in that Manchester City side that is probably going to play a lot of games is a bargain. And I cannot wait. I cannot wait. I don't think that I would want him for game week 1, but for later on, maybe like in game week 2 against Norwich at home, could be a fantastic FPL asset. That is about it for the FPL news. I hope you guys had a fantastic time. I'll be doing more of this to kind of bring you guys some latest FPL stuff. Okay, anyways guys, let's continue with the video. So what I thought I'll do is go through as many midfielders as possible and give you guys my opinions on them. There's a number of players on this list that is highly owned but hasn't even played a preseason game yet or hasn't come back from a holiday that might impact game week 1. So things like that, I'll just give you guys my opinions on the players, and, you know, players that might be a big differentials and so on. But yeah, let's just go through this list. Let's go through as many midfielders as possible. So Mo Salah, highly owned midfielder here, 12.5. We all know what he can do. I don't want to talk about him too much, but great captain option for the first 2 games. And then I guess after the Chelsea game, we can look to captain him again. However, Fernandes is a different story. Yes, he's highly owned, but a lot of people are thinking to bring in players like Sancho or using his money to go and get Mahrez. You know, there are other FPL managers out there are looking at Greenwood, which is more cheaper, to use that money elsewhere to strengthen other positions in their teams. And I even looked at that as well. You know, I removed Bruno Fernandes and bought in Sancho, and that gave me the money to go and get Mahrez. You know, a lot of people are thinking to kind of gamble on that, even though Mahrez is a rotation risk, but we all know what Manchester City can do, and having some kind of cover does help out. And then later on, by removing Mahrez to Son, it kind of works out really well there. So there's a lot of like different opportunities that you can do with Fernandes money. But Fernandes being highly owned, if he does well, then he's going to hurt you a lot. So that's the problem there. Jack Grealish looks like he's moving to Manchester City. 8 million player from Manchester City is going to be a great deal for us. I think a lot of people is going to pick Jack Grealish. I think his ownership is going to go up to about 40% if he does move and everything goes well. He's definitely a fantastic player to own. 6 goals and 12 assists for Aston Villa in that Manchester City side. You know, if he continues to play like nearly every game, I think he's going to get more than this. Yeah, 8 million works out really well. Very easy to have Fernandes, Salah and Jack Grealish. So I think he is going to be one of the highly owned players in the next coming game weeks. Rafinha 6.5, you know, is a cheap option from Leeds, and we all know what he can do from last season. 6 goals, 10 assists there. To be honest with you, he should be getting more points for us. But because of this price tag being 6.5, I think this is fantastic. This is why you will see Rafinha in the team. We'd love to have Bamford in, but at Bamford right now is 8 million. And this is just another way to get a Leeds United player into our team. And later on, you know, the fixtures gets better, so you know we will see a lot of FPL managers getting more Leeds players into their teams. Even the difficult fixtures that they have, you know, it says red here, but I think Leeds can score against anyone. Rafinha is pretty much fixture proof, so that's why he's on a lot of people's teams. Right now, Mason Mount, I don't think he played a preseason game yet, but he should be back this week or next week. I don't know if he's going to play in game week 1. He might miss it. He might be back for game week 2. We'll see how it goes. But for now, I'm just going to wait and see what happens with Mason Mount, if he's going to, or like when he's going to come back and play. I haven't really looked at any of the preseason that much for Chelsea, but I don't think he has played yet. Dallas is 5.5, 17.1% owned. A cheap alternative, to be honest with you, 5.5. And to be honest with you, if I'm thinking to bring in more Leeds players later on, then you know what, Stuart Dallas could be a player to kind of bring on that 5th midfielder slot. So that might be a good option there. You know, if we are wildcarding around, you know, after game week 3 or something, could be an option. But I think with Rafinha and bringing a defender from Leeds could be the way to kind of go. De Bruyne hasn't played a pre-season yet, and he's 14.7% owned. That's a kind of a risk, and maybe later on, you know, in this weekend we might see him on the bench. Then okay, that will, I guess, that will indicate that he will play in game week 1. But we got to be aware of this. If he doesn't play, you know, if he's not playing in the preseason, he's not playing in the Community Shield, then, you know, he might not play in game week 1. So you might need to think about bringing him in later on. So that's my opinion on him. It could change, you know. He is a fantastic player. He could play only half an hour and he could be ready for game week 1. But it might be a little bit of a risk early on. Saka is a little bit of a risk, I would say, as well. 6.5. I think Smith Rowe could be a better option. So, yeah, just watch out for Saka right now. But I think later on, the fixtures looks really good for Arsenal. And I think if I'm wildcarding after game week 3, I might have an Arsenal player. But I'm actually looking at Pepe. So there are going to be managers out there bringing in Arsenal players later on. So you've got to watch out for that turn. I think a lot of people are going to be doing that. Bissouma, a 4.5 midfielder. You know, he could still go to a different club. For me, yeah, I guess just put him on your bench. You know, he's definitely going to be, if he stays in that Brighton side, he's probably going to play. But just be aware that a lot of clubs out there want him, so it might be a problem. But do we need our bench early on? Might not, but you just never know. Now, Bundia is a 6.5 midfielder that has been transferred from Norwich to Aston Villa. Great player for Aston Villa. Great player. A player that will get a lot of assists. You know, takes a lot of the set pieces. I think he has picked up an injury. I might be wrong with that, but I think he has. I think he missed the last friendly game, which might be a concern. However, if he is fit and ready for this first 3 fixtures, looks fantastic. So if you're thinking to attack these first 3 fixtures, double up on the Aston Villa attack could be the way to kind of go. And then later on, if you're thinking to wildcard after game week 3, I think that's a perfect scenario. Just watch out if he is injured, because he could be. Sancho is a 9.5. Is he proven in the Premier League? No. But he is a fantastic player. And I think he will do well. With Rashford out, he should be starting. But I don't think he has played a preseason game yet. That's the problem. Fernandes hasn't played the preseason game yet, right? I might be wrong with this, but I'm going to check in the next video. I'm going to have a look at these things when I look at the attacking roles. I think it's essential. You know, we all are looking at midfielders and defenders, but everything changes every single day. But Sancho he should do really well. I guess, like right now, it's just a wait and see for me. I think he will do well though. Havertz is a big differential that could do really well. A lot of people are looking to bring in a Chelsea asset later on, like really later on, like probably like after game week 7 when their fixtures change. However, I think if you want to take a little bit of risk, he could be a big differential to bring you those extra points. But do we need to take a risk early on? I don't think we need to, but some people might want to, and he could be the one to kind of go for. 8.5, 12.9% owned. He's cheap enough to be in our teams to still have Salah and Fernandes. So a very big differential, one of the best differentials out there. Maddison could be a problem early on. There's a lot of links to him to go to Arsenal, but you know, if he plays, he has got the ability to get some assists and goals for Leicester City. The fixtures are not too bad for Leicester City, to be honest with you. And to be honest with you, I actually want a Leicester City asset. But for Maddison, I think with the midfielders that we have, it's going to be quite tough for us to add him into our team. Not because of his price tag, but we might want other players. Souček, I'm just going to skip for now. I think there are better options than Souček right now. Foden as well, you know, 8 million player that could do really well, but he hasn't played. I don't know. Has he played the preseason game yet? Is he back from the holiday? Not certain on him. Gilmore is a very good player to be on the bench. That is 4.5, 8.8% owned. He should be playing most of the games, or probably all of the games for Norwich there. He's there for a reason. A good player to be on the bench. Jota is another big differential. 7.5. If Jota plays early on, if he gets more minutes and if he doesn't get injured, he will definitely have more chances to get more points for us. 7.5 I think him and Havertz could be a big differential that could get a lot of points. You know, instead of getting like 6 points or 4 points or whatever, he will get like 10 to 15 points or something. He is a player that can get these big returns. So definitely watch out for him. The fixtures are looking really good. For me, I think 2 is enough from Liverpool, and then we just probably have to wait and see what happens with Jota. There is a lot of rotation risk with him, so yeah, that's the problem with Jota there. Smith Rowe, 5.5. Midfielder is a fantastic pick, I think. Early on, might be tough. Maybe you can play him against Brentford and then bench him later on and then use him later on after game week 3. 5.5, I think this is a bargain. 5.5 is a good price for him that is probably going to play a lot of minutes this season, has signed a new contract and playing like behind the striker. I think that could be a good... I think this is a bargain. If he continues to play for Arsenal, the fixtures are going to look good later on. Maybe to have him in your team early on might be the way to kind of go. So we'll see how it goes. But for me, if I have that money, I'll definitely will bring him into my team. Now let's just go down this list. I think it's getting to that point where I'm not really certain on some of these players. Well, Prowse, I'm not really certain on right now. Barnes could be a good option. Zaha as well. But has he got an injury? I'm not really sure. You know, he's an injury-prone player. However, Crystal Palace's fixtures are not looking good right now. Gundogan and Mahrez is the one that I want to talk about. Mahrez is on everyone's radar right now. I spoke to you guys about this on my previous video, looking at my draft, having Mahrez in my team. 9 million though, that is an expensive with a pet roulette going on. But Mahrez is a player that has a lot of preseason games and he has been on form. He's been scoring a lot of goals, assisting, and this is what we want to see. So early on, Mahrez could be a fantastic option for the first 3 game weeks. Then we'll see how it goes. Then we can remove him and adjust our teams around. So early stages, you know, having this chance of seeing player that could play most of the games for Manchester City is the one. That's what we want to see. That's why a lot of people are thinking about Mahrez. The fixtures are good against Tottenham. We've got to forget this red kind of a colour here against Tottenham. I think they can do really well against them. We don't know how Tottenham is going to kind of line up and do well. I don't know. And then Norwich at home, and then at home against Arsenal, then it becomes a little bit difficult here against Leicester City. You know, there's some difficult fixtures here, but let's just look at the first 5 fixtures. This is good enough. If we know that he's going to be nailed on, I want a Manchester City player in my team. Same goes with Gundogan. So I'm going to skip through like Kante and Tielemans right now, but Harrison is on my radar to kind of double up on that Leicester City, Leeds United side. Sarr is a player that was in my team, and I really do want him in my team, to be honest with you. And I think he is cheap enough, and if he does well, then I think we're going to get a lot of money off him. The fixtures are looking really good, and to be honest with you, if I was going with that 5 in the midfield, I would definitely try to add him. And if I can get like a Manchester United, a Liverpool, Manchester City player, and Rafinha and Sarr, might be the way to kind of go. I might actually go with that formation, you know, 3-5-2 formation. I'm going to look at that. I will post another video like on a Saturday or something to have a look at this thing, this formation. Lingard and Rice, I'm not too certain, so I'm just going to click. Dele Alli could be an option. That is 6.5. Ziyech has been doing pretty well, but there's a lot of links for him to go to a different club. Let's look at the Pulisic. I'm not really certain about how he's going to perform, if he's going to play. Bowen is a player that a lot of people's looking at. That is 6.5, but I think there are better options than him. Cantwell and Pogba, I think I'm just going to skip for now. Torres is a player that a lot of people's thinking about, but has he played a preseason game yet? He hasn't, so I don't know. Greenwood is a player that is on my radar, so if I'm not going for Bruno Fernandes, I can go for Greenwood, who's probably going to have some game time early on with Rashford out. And that is quite a good news for us to kind of like get other players like Mahrez and Song or something like that. and build the team and make it more stronger. And then later on, if I'm thinking to wildcard after game week 3, then I can fix that team up a little bit. So that's a big option there. And Pepe after game week 3 could be the one to kind of go for. And Mane being a big differential. As you can see there, 3.5% owned. A 12 million player though, that's the problem. So if you want to kind of double up in this, you know, or triple up in the Liverpool side, then he might be to kind of want to kind of go for. I think that is pretty much it, guys. I just thought I'll go through this, you know, go through all of the midfielders with you guys and give you guys my opinions very quickly. Things could change. We'll see how it goes. Still got a decent amount of days left before the game week 1 deadline, but I thought I'll go through and look at like the latest news and look at my look at the midfielders and talk to you guys about them. Anyways, guys, I know this video was longer than usual, but I want to give you guys as many options as possible, many suggestions, and change your thoughts around. But yeah, I had a lot of fun doing this video. Smash a like on the video as it helps my channel out a lot. Hopefully this will get up to about 100 likes, and subscribe if you're new. You know, there's going to be a lot of videos coming through. You know, we are going to go on a journey together. I'm thinking to post a video next week for like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday and Friday. So basically you're going to have at least, from now on, you're going to have 6 more videos coming through. So watch out for that, and that is pretty much it. I hope you guys like the new layout. I hope you guys like the new the news early on. It's just something a little bit different, something a little bit fun. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for joining, guys, and I'll see you guys next time. See ya.